Over 200 years ago, a little boy went to work for the first time. He had a job. He was very excited about his job. His job was in a coal mine. He was so excited about his job until the end of the first day, because it was dark in that tunnel. He had to sit in a tunnel all day in the dark, waiting for a bell to ring. And when the bell rang, he opened a door. And two boys pushed a truck past full of coal. And this little boy then shut the door. That little boy was 4 years old. And that was his job all day, for 12 hours a day, opening and shutting the door. He didn't go to school, and because he didn't go to school, because he had to work to make money for his family, he didn't know how to read. He couldn't read and write. And he did that job for 5, 6, 7 years, and then got the chance to push the truck. And when he was a teenager, he got a job shoveling coal into a steam engine to make the lift go up and down, so that the men and the boys and the girls and the women could go to work in a lift. He shoveled that coal, and you know what? He saved his money and paid for some lessons so he could learn to read. And that little boy learned to read, and because he could read, the boss in the coal mine said, "I see you can read, young George. Could you read this manual on how the steam engine works?" And George said, "Yes, I can." And because he could read the manual and because he knew how the steam engine works, the boss made George the boss of the steam engine. And a few years later, George had an idea. Why don't we put wheels on the steam engine and call it a train? And that is how that little lad, George Stevenson, changed the world, because he worked hard, he learnt to read, he invented steam trains, the world's fastest first passenger carrying steam train, this one here, which won a race at the Rainhill Trials in Liverpool and actually ran over their Member of Parliament, which is not very good, is it? And that's how he changed the world. And that's what we're talking about today, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to this Aim High 20 tour and festival event. We're very, very, very excited today, because today we are live and direct here in Somerset, in Dorset, I nearly said Somerset there, that was nearly a slip, wasn't it? And we have got Mr. Spracken, the head teacher of Prince Charles School, out in the car park. Can you hear me, Mr. Spracken? He can't hear me, but we can't hear him. Why can't we hear him? Have we got him muted? We've got him muted. Let's try that again. Go again, Mr. Spracken.
Hello, Nick. Welcome to the Prince Charles School in Dorset. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Mr. Spracken. Fantastic. How are you today down there? Are you okay?
I'm really well. It's a beautiful day here in Dorset, and we're feeling very festive at the start of our Christmas season here at the school.
Fantastic. So tell us a little bit about the school. Take us for a little walk through there, can you?
Of course. Well, the Prince of Wales School is a one-form entry first school in Dorchester, the county town of Dorset. We're located right next to the hospital, and in the distance here we've got lots of farmland. We've got Maiden Castle Farm just across the road. We are a fantastic school with an inspire to learn approach to learning, and that means we like to be very creative. We like our learning to be engaged, and we like to give our children lots of opportunities to express themselves in all sorts of different ways, Nick.
Absolutely fantastic. So take us into the school. I think you've been up to some fairly exciting stuff. Would you say that creativity is a big part of what you do there at the school, Mr. Spracken?
Creativity is a huge part of what we do here at the Prince of Wales School. I'm just going to walk you through the main reception.
Brilliant.
Give you a wave to our office team who are busy working hard in their matching leopard skinned t-shirts or shirts today. And as you walk through our corridor, you're walking our Writing Hall of Fame. This is where every single child in the school is able to display their favourite piece of writing. And you'll see that Year 2 have been doing a bit of time travelling recently, going and looking at old railway lines. And as we walk through, you'll get to meet Derek, our Dalek, every school should have a darling.
Fantastic. I'm loving it.
And this is our Keen Bean reading machine, where children can come and collect a reward. They get a special golden token that they place in the machine, and they get to keep the book forever. Now, as we go around the corner, we've got some classrooms off to the right-hand side, and in through these doors here, we have our main school hall, which this year is a bit into Wonderland, because on Friday we had a visit from the Grinch, who was trying to steal Christmas. And we didn't think that was a very good idea. So the team have got together and made sure that Christmas is bigger and better than ever before. And I'm going to open the door, and you're going to get to have a little tour. Are you ready, Nick?
Go for it. Go for it. Wow, check that out. Amazing. Whoa. This is my kind of school. This is just fantastic. My goodness. You've just given me an idea, Mr. Spracken. Do you mind if I just pause you just there 1 second? Do you mind if I pause you 1 second? I've just got something to do here. Just bear with me a second. Let's go with this.
What if there was a place beyond your imagination? And to get there, all you have to do is believe.
All aboard! This is the Polar Express!
Come, journey to a world
There is the North Pole.
where dreams become real.
I want to believe, but
Believe.
Hold on tightly! Get us the blazers out of here! Brace yourselves!
Director Robert Zemeckis
look, isn't that amazing?
and Tom Hanks
Sometimes, the most real things in the world are the things we can't see.
will take you to a place where anything is possible.
I wanted to do that my whole life.
The Polar Express.
Talking of the Polar Express, check this out. Look, we are back at Prince Charles School, and look, there's some railway track. I wonder what runs along that railway track. Oh my goodness, just check this out. This is just off the scale, isn't it? Isn't this wonderful? Teddy's on the train. Oh my goodness, this is my kind of school. I love this. I so love this. Mr. Spracken, are you hearing me at the moment?
I can hear you nice and clear. I'm going to put you up on the screen now, Nick, so that you can say hello to the
Amazing.
Year 4 class that are here today to meet you. Just give you 1 second. Hopefully we'll get you up.
Oh my goodness. That's just crazy stuff, isn't it? Fantastic. Fantastic.
Does everyone
Why do I
say
keep
good
bringing
morning
that
to
up?
Nick? 1, 2, 3.
Morning, everybody. Can you say that again a bit louder? I didn't quite hear you. Morning, everybody. I'm going to turn you up a little bit here. Maybe that's what the problem is. Absolutely fantastic. So, that film, hands up if you've ever seen the Polar Express film. Hands up if you've seen it. Have any of you seen it? A few of you. There was a word in that film. Can any of you remember? There was a word. He talks about using your something. What was that word? Can anybody think? You can shout it out if you want. Using your... I'll take my mask off, I think. Imagination. I like using my imagination. I really do like using my imagination. Just check this out. This is where I was the other week. Not there. The other week, I was here. Not in space. not there, but down, down, down here. I built a pyramid stage in the middle of central London. I built a pyramid stage in the middle of central London. Just like the one at Glastonbury. Have you ever seen Glastonbury? They have that big pyramid stage down there. Well, you are now on the pyramid stage at Glastonbury that I put up in Trafalgar Square, in Parliament Square, believe it or not, because we had a bit of a talk there, and we had some conversations with some people. And the reason I've got that is, I know you're not in Dorset, but I've got Dorset on my mind, I'm afraid, because I, in the summer, drove to Somerset when just before Glastonbury in my car with my little trailer, and that little trailer's got everything you need to run a creativity festival in a school. And we went to Glastonbury. We ran our own Glastonbury. We went to this school, which is called Brookside Primary Academy, down there in Somerset, just down from Glastonbury, Brookside Academy. And you will not believe what we built in the playing ground. We built a cardboard pyramid stage that we had a festival on. And that's the pyramid stage that I'm on here now, and that's the pyramid stage that you are on as well. So you are now on that pyramid stage in the middle of central London. What do you think about that? So this is what we're doing. We're going all over the country for the next week. We're doing assemblies like this in schools to tell the boys and girls about this amazing festival. I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. It's all about something that we call art. Art is what we call it when what we do might connect us to somebody else. So your art could be throwing cakes at people, it could be painting, it could be photography, it could be cooking, it could be coding, design, DJing, fashion, football. All these things are about creativity and passion, things that you might do in your life to make some money, maybe to make the world a better place, maybe to make some friends. Coding, robots. Who likes robots? Anybody there like robots? Hands up if you like robots. Would you like to see a really cool robot? I've got two robots here. Yeah, you'd like to see a robot? Okay. I've got a couple of robots here. I've got a robot here, which is quite an old one. That is a robot that can do a Rubik's Cube in 2 minutes. That's a robot that I'm going to show everybody next week at the festival. And in fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to show you. I'm actually going to show you a couple of things. I'm going to show you the secrets behind what I've got here, because I'm not really in Parliament Square and I'm not really anywhere cold, so I think I can probably take my coat off actually, although everything's clipped onto that. I'm going to get a bit hot leaving. Oh, I might just keep it on. Not to worry. I'm going to press this button here and you will see what is going on in here. What's going on in here is me in a room with a green screen, and I know you know a bit about green screens, and in front of me are lots and lots of computers. And this is what I'm doing. I think you've had Russell from Anderton Tiger there doing radio. It's a bit like what he does, but with video. He's much better at what he does than I am, because I've got, I don't know what my excuse is, but it's all quite hard. And if Russell's watching, good hello to you, Russell. So everything's here. I've got 3 computers here, and you guys are on this front one, if you can see yourselves on there. So I've got you mixed into the mixer here. I've got some music here, which I can turn up and down on a sound mixing board here. I've got another laptop at the back there. I've got the laptop here connected to the internet, and then I've got a laptop there with PowerPoint on it. But what I really, and then at the back of the room, you might like this actually, I've got a television with everything on so I can see what's going on, and a clock that stops me running too late. But this is what I really wanted to show you. This is my fun shelf. Because over there, I don't know if you can see, I've got my own train. That's a real steam train that runs with steam. And over back here is JD, our robot. And JD is, let me get all these controls back over here. JD is a robot that you can code. And at the festival next weekend, we are having a competition for one school community to win this robot. And you don't have to know anything about robots, you don't have to know anything about coding, but you have to be prepared to be a bit creative. So we're going to do that next week at our festival up there in Leeds. Where should I put JD? I've got nowhere to put him now. There we go, we'll stand him there and hope he doesn't fall down. So that's what we're talking about with art. So robots or rockets. Rockets could be your art. I've got a rocket here. This rocket, believe it or not, works with dynamite. Yes, dynamite. Excuse me, when I say dynamite, can you all go, whoa? Let's rewind. This rocket works with dynamite. That's better. Keep up the audience interaction, please. And one day maybe I'll come to your school and tell you the story about 4 boys in this book, Rocket Boys by Homer Hickam, who were in a coal mining town, a bit like George, and they didn't want to be coal miners. And one day they looked up in the sky and saw a little spot. What do you think it was? A little shiny spot in the night sky in 1957. What do you think it was? Anybody got any suggestions?
Sky.
What could it have been?
What do you think, Jacob? Nice loud voice.
Rocket!
This was 1957 and they hadn't invented rockets, so it wasn't a rocket, no. What could it have been?
Shooting star?
Not a shooting star, but that's a good guess. I do get that a lot, I must admit.
Asteroid?
Asteroid? No, I'll tell you what it was. It was the Sputnik, the world's first satellite. And those boys had an idea and they went and learned how to make rockets. And that is a story that I'll come and tell you one day properly, because it's the best book. Well, my dad gave it to me. He found it in an Oxfam bookshop and said it's the best book he's ever read. And that's, well, I'm not going to sit here plugging books all day, but that's a book I wrote with 9 short stories, including George Stevenson's story in there as well. So robots, rockets, these are all different types of art. And we believe in art for all and everybody being creative. So what I'd like you to all do is ask each other the question, what's your art? Turn to the person beside you and ask them what their art is. What they like to do that might one day make some money. What they like to do that might make some friends. What they do that might one day help them make the world a better place. 10 seconds, go. 10, 9. Three, 2, 1. Anybody got any suggestions? What's your art? Can you pick some out for me, Mr. Spracken?
Yep, definitely. Let's go with Thomas.
Climbing.
Climbing, wow.
Emily?
Sketching.
Sketching. Who we got down the end there? Dylan? Football?
Yeah,
Jacob?
great.
Robotics.
Robotics?
Whoa.
Orson? Oh, not Orson, sorry, Jolan? Goalkeeping we've had, yeah. Arlo? Football, Florence? Horse riding? Orson?
Just drawing whatever comes to my head.
Drawing whatever comes to mind. Isaac?
Fantastic.
Well, I think I should write books.
Oh, writing books. Layla?
I like spending time with animals.
Spending time with animals. Yes, sir.
Gaming.
Gaming. Yes, Harry?
Gaming.
Gaming again. We've got 2 gamers at the front here.
Fantastic. Well, I love art so much. I don't know if you can see, I bought the t-shirt. I've got an I Love Art t-shirt. And we've got a template on our website that you can fill in, which conveniently isn't in the drawer here because I forgot to pick it up. But you can download the I Love Art template, draw your own hearts, and then send us lots and lots of pictures. In fact, let me just see if I can pull that up for you here. This is all a bit last minute this morning, wasn't it? Let me see if I can find you some I Love Art stuff to show you what I mean by the I Love Art stuff. Here we are, look. So, if we put that on there and get rid of that, the I Love Art t-shirts, and these are the selfies. So you download that template, you draw a heart, you fold it in half, take a picture, and we print them off into posters that we're sticking all over the place. And that's all inspired by this amazing man, whose name is JR, who's just incredible, incredible man. So that's what we're talking about today with I love art. So, Sarah, have you you had a band there a moment ago? Is there any chance of a little tune out of them?
We've got some more. Fantastic art to share. We've got some Shakespeare to share with you, Nick.
Go for it, please do. Lovely.
Miss Brown, who are we going to go to first?
Let's go to our lovely narrator, Isaac.
Isaac, fantastic. You ready, Isaac?
But Lysander has a plan. He has a rich aunt who's 20 miles away, where the strict laws of Athens do not apply. If Hermia can sneak out of her house tomorrow night and meet Lysander in the woods, they can run away together. No sooner have they agreed than Helena turns up.
Let's give him a big round of applause. Thank you. And who have we got here, Miss Brown?
We have Oberon and Puck.
Oberon and Puck. Go for it, guys.
A sweet Athenian lady is in love with a youth that rejects her. Anoint his eyes with the door, and the next thing he sees will be the lady. In!
Wow.
Round of applause. Fantastic, and a bit more.
And this is Midsummer Night's Dream, is it, sir?
We have got Hermia and Helena.
Hermia and Helena.
You canker blossom, you thief of love. What have you come by night and stolen my love's heart from him? Bye, you can't fit, you puppet, you. Puppet? Why so? Because I'm so dwarfish and so low. Hello, I'm not yet so low, but my nails can reach to thine eyes.
Oh, another big round of applause.
Wow, just wonderful.
We're going to finish with a bit more music. Come on, guys. It's been great to join you today, Nick.
Fantastic. Well, it's Father Christmas. Why can't we hear you? Oh no, why can't we hear you? I should hum along a little bit, shouldn't I, or something? This is a bit of a shame. There's nothing at our end. We've got lots of audio here. We've lost your audio. If you can hear me, can you move the laptop a bit closer or something? Oh dear. Oh, it looks great. We can dub some sound on for the edit.
There we go.
That's weird. I couldn't hear them for some reason. I've got a feeling your audio might be quite close to the laptop. Can you take the laptop a bit closer? Could they do that a little bit again? Is that you
Can you do it a little bit again, Nirvana? Can you Nirvana again? Thank you, guys. We didn't pick it up on the microphone. Let's try that again.
That's better. I think we lost our audio again. Oh dear. Lost audio again. I don't know if it's because it's so loud it's distorting the speakers and cutting the audio out. But what a lovely sight, if nothing else. Look at that. That is just fantastic. Wow. That was great. Can you hear me?
That's brilliant. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us.
That was just wonderful. Well, thank you so much. So next weekend we've got the #AimHigh20 festival in Parklands Primary School up there in Leeds with Mr. Dyson, Chris Dyson. And what we want communities like yours to have events like this. We'll live stream 3 events for the next week if anybody wants one to get in touch. But more importantly, we want young and old artists of any type, whatever your art, creativity. We want you to submit it, we want you to do a talk, we want you to perform, we want you to be part of this with your art. We're doing an eclectic art show through the grounds of Parklands Primary that the local community can go to, but everything is going to be live streamed. So do be part of that. Mr. Spracken, can't thank you enough for your support and help today. Are you getting back to your day job now and the lessons and the learning?
Yeah, this is the day job, Nick. We love it.
You've got a very special hashtag there, I think, haven't you? Remind us what that is and tell us what the significance
what's our
of that is.
hashtag? Inspired to... Learn. Can't hear you guys. Learn. That's right, we're inspired to learn. We're all inspired to learn at the Prince of Wales School.
I'm going to put that on the screen. Hang on. Inspired to learn. My spelling's not very good and I'm stressed out. Hang on a second. Let's put that on the screen so everybody is under no illusion.
I'm going to let you go back to class now. Thank you very much for your help. Superb.
Hashtag inspired to learn. Absolutely fantastic. Well, it's head teachers like you that our children need, our communities need, and as much as anything, I honestly believe our country needs this. Hashtag creativity is Great Britain. There's no doubt about that. And you really are doing a fantastic job down there. Prince Charles School, you say, do you have a connection to the Duke of Cornwall by any chance?
Our building is on Duchy land, so that's where the name the Prince of Wales School comes from. He has visited a couple of times over the years, and he's always
fantastic. So, and you're part of that community there, very much a community school, I'd imagine, are you, with those values?
100%. Our school's all about community.
What have you got planned for Christmas? Anything exciting apart from...
We've got all sorts of things planned. We've got a big film premiere that we're doing. We've got virtual quizzes, virtual Christmas discos. We've got a virtual carol service. So, yeah, very much trying to keep up with what we normally do, but obviously slightly different with the current restrictions in place.
It's interesting because a lot of people are saying, it's not going to be the same. Well, it's not going to be the same. It's going to be different. But I think if we've got
it's going to provide new opportunities, Nick.
Absolutely. I think if we've got that human connection in there, surely we've got just about as much as we really need in a way. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, go for it. These guys are going to play a bit more music in the background, Nick.
Fantastic. I look forward to that. And we'll sign off now. Thank you so much, Mr. Spracken. We'll be in touch. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Fantastic. Oh dear, I don't know quite what's going on there. That's pretty random. And now we've got some full-on video feedback issue. One of me is enough for a lot of people. My goodness, that's going a little bit crazy, isn't it? So this is just what happens when you just get really crazy with feedback. We've heard video feedback when you whistle, so that's video feedback. We've got a video of a video of a video, and it just goes a little bit crazy. I'm going to press a button. Let me press that button there and get rid of that. So it kind of vaguely looks like I'm in some sort of control. Believe it or not, my iPad was flat. It shouldn't have been, so I haven't had the control over the Vision Mix that I'd have liked to have had. But I am going to just play out now with a little film. I'm going to play you two. Actually, no, I'm not going to play two films because the other one will trip the IP out, and I don't want this to go on a copyright block. 2 years ago, Elton John made a film with John Lewis. You might have seen it. Let me see if I can put it up here. It told the story of how Elton John, and it looks like I took it out of this presentation, not to worry. Elton John was given a piano as a child, worked hard, learnt to play, learnt to write music, made friends, made some money, and made the world a better place. Whether or not you like Elton John's music, he made the world a better place. I saw that film, ripped it off, put some subtitles on it, and put it back on the internet. And Elton John retweeted it, and it had 50,000 views in an hour. I went on a UK tour, showing that film to schools, doing workshops, not dissimilar to the one today, maybe a little bit more organised. An hour-long all-school assembly. We made rockets with a class of children. We fired the dynamite rocket. And I did that in 20 schools across 2 weeks. The 12 days of Creative Christmas Tour. It really was absolutely fantastic. And I gave a little Lego train set to a lad in Leeds, in Parker's Prime as it happened. And that was the early stages of building a relationship with that wonderful school. And from that, we coined our phrase, art is what we call it when what we do might connect us to somebody else. We have to help our kids aim high, whatever their art is. As I say, whether it's painting or photography, dancing, design, DJing, fashion, football, whatever. We've got to help our kids not just high, but higher than high. We've got to help them build castles in the sky. I do love and hate that phrase in equal measure because it's a phrase, castles in the sky, for young people who should not be dreaming beyond their station, who should know their place. But we believe every child has to have some aspiration, has to have some ambition, because our country, our future depends on it. And that's why the theme of a lot of what we do here is about aiming high with robots or with rockets, whether they're Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos or Apollo 11 NASA-style rockets, or steam rockets, as you heard George Stephenson, that young lad in Newcastle who learnt to read because he saved up the money. We passionately believe in art for all. Today at STEAMco we're launching the hashtag Creative Carers Patreon. If you're keen and want to support our work, we're just had a small government grant. We've just missed out on a massive one for 2022, 120 million for a national festival of creativity. We weren't lucky to get through on that. We've launched a Creative Carers Patreon today for £1 a month or for £4,000 a month, whatever you can afford. £1 a month will keep us ticking along. £4,000 a month will buy one person like me and put them on the road with one of our dock trucks somewhere in the UK, because next year we want to put 3 of those on the road. A year after that, we want to put 22. In 2022, we want 22 people like me in high-vis jackets and hopefully not masks, buzzing around the country, running events in schools and communities, connecting our kids with their art and our communities with their schools. When I was a little lad, my dad gave me a present, and this is me with my dad and my first ever train set. I show this to children in schools across the country, telling them that my dad gave me the greatest gift. He gave me my art. He gave me helped me use my imagination. He showed me the skills that I would need to survive and hopefully one day again thrive. I became an engineer. I was a Masters of Engineering Electronics at Loughborough University. I did design A-level, and I've got a big mouth, as you can see. So I love selling a good story, but I also understand technology. I'm creatively aware, and I'm passionate about creativity. So if you'd like to support the work we're doing here at STEAMco, we've been doing it for 10 years in my son's schools, but for 5 years as a non-profit community enterprise. If you'd like to support us, and if you can spare £1 a week, then do please check out hashtag Patreon, Creative Carers Patreon. In fact, I might just put it on the screen. That'd be quite. I'll do that in a minute. Because very quickly now, I'd like to play you a little video, because this year we ripped off Amazon's ad. Bit cheeky, wasn't it? We ripped off Amazon's ad. You might have seen it. A beautiful ad with this young lady dancing. I'm trying to think, because I had to press all my buttons differently today. So I want that one there and that one there. And if I press that and that, it goes full screen. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy this. That's weird. That's Elton John. What's that Elton John? Where's that coming from? That's not right. Have I got... That's more like it. Why did Elton John start playing there? Oh, is that underneath? Ha! I put that video on top of the Elton John video. That's where the Elton John video went. I stuck that on top of it. Okay. This is what happens when you do things in a bit of a hurry. So basically, in PowerPoint, I had this video on top of the Elton John one. So let's rewind as if nothing happened. I don't even know if anybody's watching. We don't care. Doesn't matter. Enjoy this. In fact, let's go for it. Okay. I had this running earlier, and I actually turned the audio on it because I was playing it as a little bit of background. So let's do that again. And let's turn the audio on the film. And stay with me. Stay with me. It's going to work now, honestly. I know it's going to work. I know exactly what went wrong. And this is what we have to teach our kids. We have to teach our kids not to fear failure. We have to teach our kids not to be afraid, but to have a go. So let's have a go. Let's try and play that film again.
Good evening. All schools across the country will close until further notice, as coronavirus reached 100.
Dyson. Can we have Chris Dyson on this stage, please?
As I said, we're in the toughest area in Leeds, and yet our school children, the children that actually sit on the interview panel for the Northern Ballet, because I want to give them an opportunity that they've never sort of had before. And it shows if you believe in the people, you believe in these teachers, you believe in these kids, absolutely anything is possible.
The Aim High 20 UK Tour and Festival next weekend, 4th to the 6th of December, live streaming from Leeds with Chris Dyson there. And we still need people to be part of that. We still need you to sign up and to get involved. We need some artists, we need helpers, and we need 3 sponsors. We've got some ideas. We need to match fund a grant we've got from the Arts Council and the Treasury and Department of Culture, Digital Media and Sport and Lottery. Got a small grant from them, but we need to match fund that. So if anybody knows 3 organisations that would consider sponsoring that, 1 of 3, then do please get in touch. Thank you so much. If you'd like to support our work, then as I say, we've got the Creative Carers Patreon, hashtag Creative Carers Patreon, a funding platform for people who care about creativity, children and all our futures. And today we also launched a thing called the Talkwalkers Podcast, inspired by an amazing man. In fact, Steamco was inspired to start many years ago by an incredible man, this incredible man, Sir Ken Robinson, who said that creativity now is as important as literacy. And today we launched the Talkwalkers Podcast, a podcast by people who worked with Sir Ken Robinson. I was delighted Sir Ken Robinson nominated me for a TED Fellowship for my work several years ago. He spoke very highly of our work, has been very supportive and did an interview with us in Liverpool when we did a launch event there. So Sir Ken Robinson, absolutely fantastic. So check that out, Talkwalkers 20 podcast. Thank you very much. We hopefully will see you next weekend at the Aim High Festival, Aim High 20, hashtag Aim High 20 Festival in Leeds with Chris Dyson at Partners Prime. I'm going to sign off now with that memory from Sir Ken Robinson, the very man who we're here today because of his work, because of the work of TED Talks, spreading that powerful message that creativity is now as important as literacy. Thank you.